Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We have Aftermath versus Heresy up next, and Robo will be joining me again in just a moment. Can I explain placings when I am back? Absolutely. Here's the standings right now. And first placing means that your team came first. Second placing means that your team came second. Third placing means that you joined third. So if we look at the brackets, the winner of the finals will get the first placing. The loser of the finals will get the second placing. And both of the losers of the semi-finals will get the third placing.
Yep.
Now, this is a 3v3 bracket, and there's only a round of 8. But in 1v1s, there's an extra round before this, and that's why we have the 5th placings as well. It's exclusively for the 1v1 setting, basically. Depending on where you finish, you score a different number of points. So you win more points for finishing first, and then so on until you get just 1 point for finishing 5th.
And the 1v1s and the team game events are worth different number of points. So, like, there's the same number of points overall, but because there's more placings, it's spread out a little differently. Because some people go through and they do the maths, and they're like, well, if A is equal to, 4 and B is 3, and like, well, this doesn't add up. Like, it does, it's just they're different.
It adds up overall, but
Yep.
yeah, we had to score it slightly differently for the 1v1 stage because obviously there's more players taking part there.
And it'd be a little bit unfair if the 1v1s were worth the same number of points, because then that would favor teams that have better 1v1 players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Versus being more of an all-rounded team game and 1v1 player.
Yeah. So these are the standings as they are after the 1v1 stage that we saw last Saturday. So this is the Southeast Asia 1v1 final standings. The standings will be updated at the end of the 3v3 stage, which we're casting now. Obviously,
and
we're going to
next Saturday. It'll be updated after the finals.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be casting the semi-finals and the grand finals next Saturday. But right now, we're going to be casting our next set in the round of 8, and that's going to be Aftermath versus Heresy. Aftermath starting to pick it up a little bit. They got off to a poor start in the tournament. They're still not doing particularly well, but they're starting to improve.
Right. They're all pretty close to second, right? They're
Yeah.
in the teams, like along with SY, Suomi, and Frantic, where the 4 of them are fighting for second place. So if they do well in this event, all of a sudden they could jump up towards second or third. Right?
For sure.
They've got chances.
Right now, Heresy are in last place, but they did recently acquire 2 new players, and they are Miguel and Dugao. And that's obviously going to increase their power level considerably,
For sure.
as they'll be standing in for players like Eddie and Lan. And, well, I don't know who Heresy's actually going to play with today. We'll have to find out in a moment. But we'll be starting on Bog. We haven't seen this map yet in 3v3. And I enjoyed this map a lot in the 1v1s. In fact, Bog, I think, was my favorite map of all of them. And we'll be seeing that one first. So if you want to launch the game, we'll jump into our first match. AM stands for Aftermath. So Robo's going to launch the game, and we're going to jump straight into Bog here. And, obviously this is going to play a little differently in 3v3. The map will be bigger, which means that the center will be larger and I imagine harder to wall as a result.
And there'll also be more fish.
Yeah, absolutely.
So taking water control would be a little bit more important, right?
Right, exactly. So let's see what we get here as we jump into our first game. Aftermath versus Heresy, the first round of the Southeast Asia 3v3 stage of the Escape Champions League. We have to the east of the map, Team Aftermath, and this time they're playing with Nikov. We haven't seen a whole lot of Nikov this tournament, but he's standing in here for Heart, it would seem, and obviously no hero as well.
Well, I think at the time these games were played, he was possibly still in the US, so maybe he just has less ping issues, or he's more available at a good time.
Yeah.
Play the games, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, Nikov's kind of well known for having fast proxy problems.
Yeah, FP
so
is one of his nicknames.
Lag off.
Yeah.
But it seems like he managed to play this game just in the nick of time before he went back to South America and got his lag problems. But yeah, Team Aftermath up to the northeast. In the blue, we've got MBL playing as the Indians. In the pocket, there he is in the teal. Nikov playing as the Mongols. And then down to the south of the map in the green, it's Liri playing as the Malians on that south flank. On the left side of the map, to the southwest, in the purple, it's Melkor playing as the Khmer. In the pocket, it's Dagao playing in the yellow as the Spanish. And up to the northwest, it's Miguel playing in the red as the Berbers. Heresy are bringing out the big guns in game number 1. I love it.
They have the big guns, and then they've got some very strange civ choices.
They're bringing out the weekend weapons. Sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah, like the civs are a bit strange. Like I kind of understand Berbers. They're very versatile, like basically hard counter the Mongols if you get to late game until they get Dijoninger. The camel archers are good. They got good cavalry. Spain, obviously it makes sense. Conquistadors are good. Paladin are good. Makes sense. And then Khmer is like, what?
Well, like you know for a fact, you've been in the driver's seat. You've seen the Khmer are the best late game civ in the game.
Yes. Okay. No,
ever.
Arguably, yeah. Okay, that's a feels bad man. Nikov lost a Vil. Maybe he's not completely escaped from the lag. But okay, yeah. If you get to late game, Khmer are amazing. But the problem is getting to the late game, and you're versus AM, who are one of the most aggressive,
in your face, gonna rush you down
in the game, right?
Players.
They love to do like the archer aggression with the scouts from pocket, right? They don't want to give you time to wall up and boom. They don't want to let you double sling someone. They want to be in your face.
Oh yeah,
forcing you to react to what they're doing.
And you can see that immediately with the civ picks as well. Indian, Malay, Mongols for Aftermath. That's like got aggression written all over it, hasn't it?
All three of them are classically strong Arabia civs. Like Malians, their cavalry is amazing. They've got decent archers in the early game. They've got good infantry if you get there. Their siege is pretty good. Gebetos are pretty nice as well. They've got so many options. They're so versatile. Their wood bonus helps them on water.
And of all the maps in this pool, this one is the closest to Arabia.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so I think this is interesting. Obviously, Heresy have a plan. Miguel's starting here with a boar steel, or a rhino steel, I should say, and even getting a really big shot onto MBL's scout there.
Oh, no!
His villagers blocked his own scout. Those rhinos are deadly. And he'll end up losing his scout, but he will get a rhino for his trouble. That's an extra 400 food. And he takes that away from the Indian player, who probably wants to do something like a scout rush. So that's pretty good for Miguel there.
Yeah, but still losing a scout, I'm not sure if that's really worth it, though.
Well, it's arguable, isn't it?
It's arguable, that's for sure.
I mean, there's 3 rhinos on this map, so...
Right, so it's not like you're stealing 1 boar out of 2, you're stealing 1 of 3.
Exactly.
So you can still up quite fine with a normal uptime.
Is Melkor gonna wall and sling?
Honestly, that's what I first thought. Khmer, and Melkor is clearly the weakest of the 3 players for Heresy.
Right.
So wall and sling could be an option, but look at his map. These walls are huge. Man-at-arm aggression.
I love it.
From Malians, right? Malians do man-at-arms pretty well.
They do, and it looks like there's a barracks. He's going up to feudal now. He's not setting anything to gold.
It doesn't look like man-at-arms.
Doesn't look like men-at-arms.
Maybe archers or something like that. But
yeah.
Just look at where Melkor's resources are. His main stone and his secondary stone are outside his walls or part of the walls. So he probably can't do defensive towers. He probably can't stonewall. Right. His gold is a little safe, but he can't tower his gold and his woodlines. Ooh, what happened to that?
The Komodo dragon.
Really?
No, I have no idea what happened to that scout, but it is dead. And I assume, looking at it, whose scout was it?
It must have been Melkor.
Yeah. No, wait, it's Nikov's scout, right?
Yeah,
so it must have been Melkor.
He's the only one with a kill, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so your point really is that Melkor's map's pretty rough, and could easily be breached.
For sure. And also, if he's planning on walling and slinging, obviously he's not up to feudal age quickly. I'm not sure if it's worth it to invest into fish if you know you're instantly going to lose it. Considering how much food there is on this map, right? You've got all these extra rhinos, which is tons of food. I don't think it's a good trade-off for him, personally.
Look at the Leary. Look at the Leary.
He is doing
He's
the man at
actually
arms.
going to do man at arms. It's a little bit later than we might have expected, but
Considering how slow Melkor is to up,
it doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Exactly. This house, 550 HP. The wall with 250. But more to the point, he's looking at breaching these walls very quickly here. And if he follows this up with archers, it's going to be
Which
harder
he is
for
doing.
Melkor to actually wall behind this. Oh dear.
Okay, we also need to look about water, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say, on the water, Nikov, look at this. He knows exactly where Melkor's dock is thanks to the communication with his teammates, and he's going straight for the fish. Now, you could argue those fish might have paid for themselves by now, but...
They have, but like it's an opportunity cost to make them, right?
Exactly.
Like if he didn't spend the wood on a dock and on the fishing ships, he might have got fuel a minute faster and be in a safer position.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And he's going to re-wall behind this. Once he's feudal, at least he'll be able to make a defensive tower to stop anything like coming in from one side.
But as we said, you don't really want to tower that side of your base because your gold and your wood is on the other side.
You want to tower this side.
And he's only got one lumber
stone.
camp, and that is a nasty looking lumber camp.
This one?
Yeah. Look at all
I've
those
seen
villages.
worse.
Like, yeah, but there's so many villages there.
Let's not rag on Melkor too hard here.
I'm really going to rag on Melkor.
On the water, it looks like the Heresy team are basically just forfeiting the water altogether. MBL at the top going straight into scouts as the Indians, as we expected. Miguel going straight into scouts as the Berbers.
Also makes sense. And it looks like Nikov isn't making scouts from pocket. He's just going full water.
Yeah, but that makes... it's working for them, actually. It's really working out because...
And, like, that helps Leary as well. Leary's just full making fish. He doesn't need to spend wood making fire galleys himself because he knows that Nikov's going to do it.
Right.
He can concentrate on fishing for his economy, making archers, and pushing.
It's really good for Aftermath, and it seems like Heresy was like, yeah, we'll make some fish. We won't defend them. We don't need them.
We don't need water to win this map. AM are horrible water players. They're not going to go heavy on water. Come on.
Well, Miguel seems to have made one fire galley at least, and he's got his scouts to the back of Aftermath's side of the map, but it's going to be tough for him to actually find anything back here. He's might just have to take the fights with the scouts, but there's a spearman chasing as well. And meanwhile, looks like Leary changing his approach. He's going to go for the pocket.
Ooh. Well, that's going to hurt Dogao a little bit because he wants to just drop a castle, right? And if he's been attacked, maybe he makes the castle in a difficult location.
Maybe, but you also have to consider Dogao's going to be up to the castle age before anyone on Heresy is even clicked up. And
AM, yeah.
Sorry, I meant AM. And although AM will have full water control, wait a minute, Melkor just clicked up as well.
What's he going to do in the castle age?
Well, at least he doesn't need any buildings to go up, so he saved so much wood.
Yeah.
He hasn't built a market. He's not built a blacksmith. He's not built a barracks yet. He's just, yeah, brilliant.
Is he going to switch into fighting for water in castle age?
Yeah, you know, I
seem ideal.
I have no idea. Maybe he will, because he's going to drop down that dock there. But he might get found by Leary. We'll see. Obviously, Aftermath have won the water now. The castle's coming up for Dogao. Like I said, he's going to be so fast for the castle age. He's got a good amount of time to do damage with conks. But let's not forget Nikov. He's up as well. And he already has 7 fire galleys. So if Melkor wants to retake the water, he's not only got to do the upgrades, but he's got to make the units as well.
Right. And Nikov's also fish booming as well. So he's probably got enough of an economy that he can, you know, get some TCs going and continue to solidify the water control.
Yeah. You know what we need? We need a total resources gathered graph as well to see how much resource each team has at the moment.
There's not a total resources graph, but you can see for each individual player total resources.
I want a graph like this, you know? I want a graph like that. You see MBL's team, Team
That's just
Aftermath.
the fish boom power, right?
That's a huge amount of additional villagers, and that's counting fishing ships as well. So 31 extra, 32 extra eco units on the map.
25 of which are fish.
Which is huge. And that's going to obviously amount to a huge amount of extra food in the bank.
Oh boy, and Nikov's just running through the middle of the map, making more docks, making his fishing more efficient.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, and also it helps him make more boats.
Yep,
to keep
it's a
fighting
win-win-win for Nikov right here. So we got War Galley coming in for Melkor. He's got 3 docks, I believe. Yep, there is the other one. And he'll have some fire ships out in a second, so he'll pop those out, I imagine, and start to repel Nikov a little bit. Nikov, he's in the castle age, but he doesn't actually have fire
Really,
ships
just
yet. He's researching it now. Even the Conquistadors coming over, doing actually quite a lot of damage to those fires. They're very good units, the Conquistador. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I've heard something to that effect, but I feel like it's a bit of a waste of the Conquistadors to be fighting boats instead of trying to pick off bills, right?
Going across the map and killing Eco. That's what they need to do. Leary's about to hit Castle, and his land army is basically... Oh, he's in!
Oh, no.
He's in! Where? Is there a hole here? Was there a hole?
Maybe he came in and then Melkor rewalled behind it?
Maybe, but he's... Oh, no, Melkor.
That house walls aren't going to work.
That's a
He's just gonna get
disaster.
crossbowed.
Jump in the house, Melkor. Jump in the house.
Come on, get in.
Get in.
Get in. No, don't Phil. Bill. Oh, no. Phil
gonna fight
fighting
with
this.
Bills.
This is going to be horrible.
Well, Crossbow and Bodkin's about to come in, so...
Right. And look at these villagers on the outside. Where are they going?
Ouchie.
This is a real Phil's bad man moment. And there's Conquistadors too?
Well, the Conks are coming over to try... No, they're his teammates.
Oh, yeah, true, sorry.
He's going to try and defend his teammate with Conks, but oh, wow. Melkor went around the right side and ran into another group of crossbows here. Melkor's in big trouble.
And he's still not jumping into the houses.
If he just jumped into the houses, he could save the Phils.
He would be so fine.
I
He's
think
lost like 6
that
villages
has to be the most forgotten about bonus in the game.
For sure. For sure.
Everyone forgets you can jump in houses. I don't know. They shouldn't, but they do.
It's like the one redeeming quality of the Khmer in the early game.
Wow. I think that lowly of them.
Yeah. In the early game.
Oh man, this is really looking bad now for Heresy. They are significantly behind. 700 score behind at this point in the game. Economically, they are getting absolutely wrecked on the water. They are unable to put up a fight. They're losing the docks. On the land, all they have are the small number of conquistadors that Dodgao has managed to get out. And Miguel now starting to make a few camels, but he's also up against the Indian camels of MBL.
Well,
And
their camels,
you know how
they're
that's
all
going to work.
equal in terms of just camel forwards, right? The Indian camels have no bonus versus other camels.
But it's Indians.
Yeah.
And
Late game, you can be
MBL
worried.
has more villages. He has more fish. He has 3 TCs. Miguel, meanwhile, has 2 TCs.
3 TCs.
3 TCs, but no fish, and he's behind in villas as well. So I don't know. It's not looking good for Heresy wherever you look, really.
Where are the conks? Come back.
This should be fine. They'll do that. Nice
Well, try to split.
nice attempt, but it's past saving now.
No, but like Melkor is just in such a bad position. He's so far behind at this point.
Oh, he is very far behind. You're right. Also, Nikov has some Magdite out, which means he's built a castle.
Right. He
At
has
home.
a couple of TCs and almost no farms.
Why would he need farms?
Right, exactly.
He's got 20 fish.
in the middle. He's got docks all over the place.
Big fish in the deep blue bog out here.
Yeah.
And yeah, Miguel's not having much luck on the right side or the left side against FBL. I almost feel like Melkor would have been better off just staying walled and just slinging.
Yeah. I think he
Probably
hasn't
would have done more
anything at all at
with
this
that.
point.
Yeah.
Like he tried to contest water for a little bit and then that didn't work.
I mean, he could have slung Dogao or Miguel. In fact, I think why not
Slinging
just
Miguel would probably make the most sense.
sling Miguel. Miguel goes for like mix
Tons
of camels
stables,
and
right?
knights.
Berbers,
Yeah,
cheaper stables.
exactly.
You just make a ton of cav.
Well, we say it like it's so obvious, but
Well,
maybe it's not.
maybe
don't
they
know.
just don't have 200 IQ like we do.
Robo, please. I have 300
Oh,
IQ.
sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to offend you.
You can't offend me. My IQ is too high to get offended. No,
Oh.
no. I don't know. It's a bit weird. I mean, I see what he tried to just retake water. I guess they. Oh my god! Look at that.
That's a lot of fish, right? He's got nearly 30 fish.
Oh wow! Oh, I just want to be Nikov. I
Right.
want to be him.
Just want to have
So
that many
good.
fish
I want to have
running
that
around.
many fish right now.
Yeah, right.
I
Oh
wanna-
god, an NBL's going to come over to this side and they're just going to double team poor Melkor and just wipe him off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I think MBL is confident enough at home. Miguel's not applying enough pressure, so MBL's like, right, well, I'll put my army to good use somewhere else.
We're going to kill some stuff.
Sending him over, and it looks like Melkor's actually moving out with Dogao.
2
And
mangonels and 3 conquistadors does not seem like a...
no, there's monks here from Leary. He's converted a mangonel. Oh, and Leary's going to get the trade. Leary's going to get the trade. He converts the mangonel, gets the trade. The camels are here as well. Meanwhile, Miguel's slowly moving out in the north, but it's too slow.
He's a bit tentative, and Nikov's up to Imp, fully boomed as Mongols. He's got 2 castles now. He's going to drop some more pretty soon, I guess, and just going to have full Mangadai production going everywhere. Like, this number of camels, they can kill TCs in no time.
Yeah,
right?
they can. And they can kill conks as well. Because, believe it or not, they've got 3 pierce armor.
Oh. And they also counter cavalry, which conquistadors
are they are cavalry. They have a cavalry armor.
Yeah, I think so.
They do.
Yeah, there we are.
And yeah, that's it. So basically, Miguel now trying to trade blows with MBL up in the north. And MBL, he might lose a few bills here.
Remember, MBL's still got 20 fish, right? So he can lose 10 bills and still be ahead economically.
That's true. And he also doesn't have fletching on his TCs, so he's not killing these camels perhaps as fast as he would actually like. So it's definitely, yeah, it's hurting Zico. But Miguel's not doing any sort of finishing blow to MBL.
And there's a nice castle from Nikov, securing the front of his base.
Look at the map control. Look at it. It's just, they're everywhere.
Just, like, if you look in the middle bog, it's literally just teal fishing ships everywhere.
Look how far forward he's building his docks as well.
This is like,
he's taking over.
These docks, they're just everywhere, right? The fish hardly have to move at all to drop off.
I love it. And looks like Miguel here dying to the castle as well. As he tries to run away, he's going to get cut down. Oh, he just juked the arrow.
Both survive with almost no HP.
That was close.
Just to get healed up.
12 health between them. And Miguel going up to Imp now, but, well, Nikov's already there, so more Mangadai coming out. He's actually gathering them at the front, and obviously this map, it's wide open across the front, and some of the, some players have tried to wall it off a little bit, but all in all...
It's not very easy, and it's not safe at all.
Exactly, it takes huge amount of walling to close the middle of the map off. You have to really wall around all of the center bog, and Nikov's just going to try and run this Mangadai through. At the moment, he's lacking a few upgrades. He doesn't have elite. He doesn't have many defense upgrades yet. He's still missing quite a bit. But the point is, he'll have it very, very soon. And the other guys on the Heresy team aren't even up in the Imperial Age yet.
The problem here, though, is Miguel's kind of conflicting what he wants to make, right? He wants to make camel archers to counter the Mangadai. But he also has to make camels to counter the Indian camels, right?
Absolutely.
And he doesn't really have the economy to make both things at once.
No, I think he'd rather probably have the camel archers, right? Like that would be his core unit here.
That makes sense. But he's only got 2 castles now. They're both on the front.
He's gonna lose
Nikov
one.
has a ton of castles. He's already making trebs coming out to the front before Miguel's even hit Imp. And we see on the other side, Leary's about to hit Imp. MBL is getting close to Imp as well. It looks like Leary's teching into cavalry.
He just cancelled Tuigi.
I think he probably misclicked
trying I think he's trying to get Farimba, but
which is an Imperial Age tech, not Castle Age.
And he's Imp now, so heavy camel's coming in.
Right.
And I don't think he can afford it anyway, but if he saves up for it, he'll definitely want to get that later on.
But we've got like a full cavalry composition from the AM team, which I think makes a lot of sense on this map. You can just sort of run wherever you need to be.
Yeah, having the maneuverability is really good. And oh no, look at that castle from Miguel.
Kill that castle if he doesn't pay attention.
Oh no, and the castle here from MBL as well. It's already up and in position. And Miguel's getting basically 2v1'd here. Where is Dugao? Dugao is on the south side.
Trying to help out Melkor. And Melkor's up to Imp as well. Okay, so he's not that far behind. But what is he going to do once he hits Imp that can stop the tide?
So a quick look at the graphs. MBL was team Aftermath with 54 additional military units and with
about the same number of villages.
Yeah, about 54 additional villas.
Pretty much purely the fish in the middle.
It's pretty rough. Dugao with a lot of Conquistador right now, but he's switching into Cavalier. And those conks haven't really been that active around the map.
Do you really want to make Cavalier against Farimba heavy camels and Indian heavy camels?
No, not really.
It's not ideal at all.
I wonder if he's going to delete this castle.
I hope so.
I hope so too. We'll see.
It makes me very sad if he doesn't.
Meanwhile, the Treb war. Jeez, Miguel losing a lot of Trebs there.
Nikov should always win that, right?
And he's not deleted the castle. It's, yeah,
That's gone.
it's gone.
Because, like, Nikov can always just run forward with Mangadai, snipe the Treb, and then run home. Right? And
Yeah.
he has so many castles here. 6 castles, 7 castles. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then he has 2 at
6
home as well.
castles back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you
Yeah.
count MBL's castles on the top side,
Right.
oh, they.
So dangerous. And like Dogao's doing Paladin. Nice. It's a pretty good unit. Not the best against this many camels.
Miguel is getting castled right now, but it's already checkmate, and the GG is called. So Miguel's going to call it, and well, the raiding starting to come through from Leary through the middle of the map as well. Interestingly, Melkor wasn't really that pressured in the late game, but I think that's mostly because Aftermath probably didn't see Melkor as much of a threat, and they'd much rather make sure that the Berber player doesn't get up to a big mass of Camel Archers, and probably much rather make sure that Dugao doesn't get up to like Paladin and start raiding them or something. But they had so many Camel units on the map anyway that they were never really going to be too scared of the Spanish. I mean, what is he going to do? Paladins? Conquistador? No problem. We've got heavy camels with, well, Imperial camels for the Indians. We've got camels with Farimba, which would be 7+7 attack once Iron Casting is completed. And yeah, all in all there, that was just domination from Aftermath from the very start of the game. They had the water control, they had the fish boom, they had map control, they had everything they needed. That was basically the recipe to success, and Aftermath had it all. I don't think there's too much analysis to even give for that game. I think what we need to do is go to the next one.
Get into it pretty quickly. Like, there was really not much that they could do with those civs, to be honest.
But
right?
they picked them.
Exactly, right? So it seems like AM prepared possibly a little bit more, had a better idea what civs they wanted, what would work well on the map.
I don't know, I do think that that Heresy prepare. I do think they prepare, or at least they did prepare in the past. Nowadays, I don't know. Maybe
Well,
they've
maybe there's a bit of miscommunication with Dogao and Miguel joining fairly recently. Maybe they aren't as on the ball
maybe
as they would like to be.
or have been in the past. But like they've definitely prepared strats before. I mean, we've seen them, for example, playing against Frantic, and they've had great strats.
Right.
But that was sort of, I think, when Nilly was playing with them, and
Yeah, like, and I think the 3v3s for the Mid-East, they nearly beat Frantic. It was like 2-1, and the final game was like an hour and a half long. In some
that was on Hideout.
I think it was Oasis.
Oh, maybe it was Oasis.
But yeah, something like that. One of those sort of maps. They've had some really close 2v2 series. Some of the 1v1s are pretty close. Like, they put the work in, but, maybe just the team changes isn't gelling as quickly as they would have liked.
Yeah, I agree, and we'll see what happens now in Game 2, but it's going to be tough for Heresy unless they prepared a strategy here for Atoll. We'll give them the credit of the doubt, or the benefit of the doubt, sorry, because Atoll is their home map, so we hope they prepared something for
They
it.
should have something special.
Yeah, well, I don't know about special, but they should have something.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
let's see. That first game, it's interesting because I'm unsure about that whole the decision to go with the Khmer.
Right.
I feel like that should have been picked for a reason. And
Well, Khmer are in the Civ pool, and they have to pick 2 Civ pool civs, right? But you could have picked Indians instead of Khmer, like
yeah,
AM did, and that would have been so much better.
definitely. Well, we're going into game number 2 now, and it's going to be on Atoll. We've seen this map in all 3 of our series now. It seems to be a popular map among all of the teams. And it looks like we've actually got mirrored civs.
No,
no,
it's not.
no, we've not. No, we've not. It's pretty closely mirrored. But the key difference here is that for Heresy, we have the Mayans, and for Aftermath, we have the Vikings.
Right.
The other 2 civs are Malay and Japanese,
as we
2
have
great
always
water
seen.
civs.
So I think AM might be taking a similar route to Secret, as we saw in the last series, where it's very much a water-heavy matchup, where they're going to focus on the water, having big fish boom economy. We saw how powerful that was in the last game, having tons of fish.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they go into the middle later on, right?
Yeah, and look whose pocket. It's MBL with the Japanese.
Oh boy.
Why is it that the Mayan player always gets the pocket on this map? It's
I
like
don't
every
know.
time we've
It
seen,
happens.
yeah,
It seems. I don't know, man.
just happens.
And
But
we've also got player change. Melkor has switched out for LAN.
oh yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that at first. So I guess we'll introduce the players and the teams.
Yep.
So spawning in the east of the map, to the northeast on the flank, we have Lan. He's playing as the Malay there in the purple. In the pocket, it's Miguel in the red playing as the Mayans. And then on the south flank, it's Dugao in the yellow playing as the Japanese. That is Team Heresy.
And for AM, on the southwest flank, we have Nikov as the Vikings in teal. His pocket, well, I guess their pocket, is MBL in the blue Japanese, as we said earlier. And then finally, we have Leary in the north flank as the Malay in green.
So it's going to be the Malay versus the Malay on top.
Yep. And then Vikings versus Japanese.
Vikings, Japanese on bottom. And then the two pockets, Japanese and Mayans. So it seems like there's two schools of thought for this map. I should always say half the teams are saying full water,
Yep.
and the other half of the teams are saying semi-water
And take the
and
middle.
full like Mayan land control in the middle. Now it's currently 1-1 because the Mayan land control won in one game.
Well, that was a mirror, so
That
it
was a
had to
mirror.
win.
True. But then Team Secret proved that actually this game can be won by going for the big water control and then using the Japanese pocket to go into skirms and samurai to try and
Something.
counter
To be
the
honest, you
Mayan
could
player.
even just go like full sling with the Japanese, right? Just full fish boom and sling. So your
Swing your
two flanks, right? Because Vikings, once they get to imp and longboats, they've got
Yep.
water control. Berserks are pretty good.
Yeah, they're
well.
okay, but not as good against plumed archers.
Right, but the Viking economy is already good. And when you're getting slung by a Japanese player who has, 30 fishing ships, you can make a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. Just overwhelm them
Yeah.
with numbers.
Right, especially because if you've got water control too, they're not going to have a strong eco at home. So
Right.
ideally, quotation marks, ideally, you should be ahead in economy, and you can just sort of outmass them with tons of stuff.
Very technical analysis there from
That's
Robo.
what I'm known for.
Let's
Make lots
outnumber
of
them
stuff.
with tons of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's some advice that
Right.
anyone could benefit from.
Sure,
to
and
be honest.
especially Malay. They are very good at making tons of stuff.
Actually, that's true. The Malay are very good at making tons of stuff. Couldn't have said that better myself.
Yeah.
But
More technical analysis.
but
This is what we're known for here at Escape.
we actually did see a lot of fish from AM last game.
Yeah.
And it seems like they really are valuing that, especially with the Japanese. So we're going to see that again here from the pocket. But look at Nikov's dock. I mean, obviously that's sort of...
Already 2 docks.
Yeah, but it's also far back as well, you know? It's like, it's way back. And Nikov, as the Vikings, might be considering like a fast castle. And
Small fish boom into fast castle.
yeah, maybe. I mean, he's got enough distance between him and Dugao that...
And Doga's also got a semi-back dock.
Yeah, right. So the rush distance between yellow and teal here is quite large. And I don't think... Oh, wow. Okay, there you go. I was going to say, I don't think Dugao's scouted that much, but he actually has. Because his island... he's had his scout on his own island there, you see. He's actually scouted the dock of Nikov. And Nikov has not scouted Dugao yet, but he's sending his scout over
Right.
now.
And it looks like Nikov's about to click up as well. He's just finished loom, and there we go. He's up.
Yeah, so Nikov's going to go up with 22, but he's going to go up considerably later than Dugao and have the back dock. So it seems good to me. He'll add an extra fish. And so far, not finding the docks of Dugao, but he'll know that he's on Dugao's island, and it's probably going to be quite close by there.
Somewhere around there.
But Dugao's going to strike first anyway, and interestingly, Dugao here, 6 fish already. He's already out fishing Nikov, even though Nikov built 2 docks here.
Yeah, well, I think Nikov only really made 2 fish from each dock, really. He didn't make a ton.
It surprises me. I just thought that Nikov, adding 2 docks so soon might
Right, you'd
consider
make more
doing
fish.
something
Like,
with
it
it.
seems a bit
Yeah.
strange to spend the wood on the extra dock and not make that many.
Well, still, Nikov's scouting around. He's Xing the docks of Dugao now. Just to let his teammates know what is up. On the top side, the Malay versus the Malay. Looks like Lan has 3 military out already against the 1 of Leary. So it seems like he might just have the edge there, and he's going to find a villager kill as well by the looks of things.
Look at that, though. Leary has a really forward dock there. The place like in the middle island, as it were.
Yeah, right here.
And that's so close to land docks as well, right?
It's all-out aggression.
Yeah.
From both of them. In fact, there's 3 docks up for LAN already. And of course, the Aftermath team can benefit from team cheaper docks thanks to the Viking player.
Ooh,
that
true.
does help. And obviously, LAN, he's had to get all of that wood himself, all that 150 wood for his docks. And obviously, Leary, on the other hand, saved a little bit. So Leary could potentially be pulling ahead slightly in the water here if we take that wood saving into consideration.
Fair enough. That's still only like 20-ish wood each per dock, but it does. It's not insignificant. It's a small bonus. It helps a little bit. But, whoa, what's MBL doing? He's doing some crazy stone walls in the middle.
Funky walling.
Well, we kind of saw this from Kim as well, right? When he was playing as Pocket, he was just sort of walking around stonewall in the middle. BNA tried to do a similar thing as well.
They tried, but they didn't really succeed.
Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately for them, no.
I was so hoping there'd be a demo that comes out from the back.
From the back? That would have been cool. It's queuing now. But a little bit
late.
too late, yeah. As Land's backing out there. But yeah, we see MBL. I mean, he's trying to wall them in and I guess sort of make it harder for them to get to the land later on.
Yeah. Wait, so MBL, can we just check MBL scouting quickly for a second? Oh, he hasn't seen that second crossing onto Land's Island.
Ah, this one.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
That could be.
So he's got no idea that Land can just walk there anyway.
Yeah. That could potentially be a problem if it gets to the late game.
Yeah, Land's actually just sending a villager into the middle now anyway. I don't know why, but anyway, on the water, Lan and Leary going at it. Leary's demo raft not able to go off just yet, but if he can find a good shot here, he could turn this fight around. It's been quite close between them so far. In terms of what you look at it right now, they've both got 9 military, but Land's killed a little bit more so far. Across this other way, it looks like MBL will be successful in getting a villager out.
Miguel is slinging. He isn't going for like fast castle into the middle with plums. He's slinging Land.
What? That's not right.
Look at Land's resources. He's about to get castle already.
That's true, but I thought it was sling the Mayans, not have the Mayans sling.
Maybe the plan is just purely whoever is Pocket slings the flanks to win water?
Maybe, and I wonder if perhaps...
MBL's probably done the same thing. Yeah, he's doing the same
so
to Leary.
He's slinging Leary.
So they're both up at like the same time.
That's hilarious. Lan and Leary both getting slung on the top side. They're both going all in on the water here. We've already got a 4th dock from Lan. We'll probably see a 4th dock from Leary fairly soon as well. And looks like Lan's coming out ahead at the moment. It's close, but he's got just a couple more kills. And that's going to be a really close fight for some time, I think, if they're both getting slung here.
Yeah. But on the other side, though, we see Dogal's up to castle age already. Nikov is not. This could be a problem.
Nikov seems to have a lot more military, though. Oh, no, it's just because Dogal has it split up. But, yeah, that could be a problem for Nikov. So, if Lan is able to win the top side, it looks like Dogal's got the edge on the bottom. That could be very good for Heresy. That could result in them winning the water. And if Heresy wins the water, that's the exact opposite of what Aftermath are looking for here with the Japanese pocket.
Right.
And then off the back of that, Heresy are also going to have the Mayan pocket, which should, in theory, be able to push out and take the middle. But...
And also think about, like, because he's fully fish boomed.
Yeah.
So as soon as he stops slinging, he's going to have, like, 3,000 food in the bank in, like, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
And, well, I was going to say, but MBL has also walled up the middle.
Which is a little bit of a problem. That's true.
Yeah. They're going to have to transport around it except for Lan. He's fine.
Somehow, luckily.
Oh, but look, Leary, even though he was slower to castle, doesn't get War Galley faster. What? How is that possible? I guess
Did I forget to click it? Maybe he was missing a little bit of resources?
Maybe.
Okay, well, he gets War Galley just in time, turns around, takes a bit of a fight. But he needs the War Galleys behind...
Demos!
Oh, they're in the middle of the War Galleys! And there's a... Oh, Land's trying to pull back his own demos, though. That was okay.
That was okay. But look at the fish, actually. Miguel has 24 fish. MBL has 15. That's better for Heresy here.
Okay. But
even though the Japanese fish are faster, yes.
MBL has spent that time, though, walling up the middle, which is I
That's
guess,
true.
a slight economic advantage. Like, you can't really quantify it, but it definitely helps their team.
We would be able to quantify it if we had a graph which showed us total resources gathered.
Oh. Well, maybe you should make another request to PKZ.
Maybe I should. Oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Great walls from MBL. He's going to stop Dugao from chasing the feudal age army of Nikov and buy Nikov time to get up to the castle edge here.
Yeah,
That was a
war
really
galley.
nice play.
Yeah, now you have to go the long way around the island. That's
Yep.
going to take like 2 minutes
That's
to
going
travel.
to take him long enough for Nikov to get war galley.
Yeah. Maybe
Really-
start adding in some longboats as well, possibly.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And that's really well saved in the end by MBL there. MBL,
Good team play.
yeah, doing a good job. It looks like Leary is moving out to the middle of the map with a TC and a siege workshop. And on the water, Land does seem to be getting a bit of an advantage here.
We say that, but it's like one or two extra units. It's still incredibly close. Like 1 or 2 key demos could just turn everything around.
That's true, and there they are being queued up in the dock right now. Yeah, I don't know though. 19 kills to 15 deaths. Lan has traded better, but
Remember, the demos don't.
oh,
count for those
demos!
stats.
Oh, that was weak. That
Way
could have been way better.
But even so, like, he's still fighting, you know, all of his army against only half of Leary's.
True. Leary's army's kind of at the back, split up. Lan's controlled this much better. I'm surprised, to be honest. No discredit to Lan. I'm surprised that Leary isn't really taking better fights. You
Like,
know,
he is known as a micro-intensive player, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're not really seeing that so much. I guess water micro is kind of a different kind of micro, but it's still micro.
Yeah, and it looks like actually Miguel has lost a ton of fishing ships. He's only got 12 now. He had 20-something before.
Oh,
All Leary's managed to sneak around.
that's what? Where? How?
Oh, okay, they're all idle.
Okay, they're idle. They're not
So
actually dead.
There
they're
was
just
something
idle.
there that forced him to stop using them.
Yeah, I think that was like 1 or 2 fires from Leary. He must have gone through the shallows here.
Yeah.
But Dugao going to try and take the fight against Nikov. Their upgrades are favoring Dugao right now. Nikov doesn't have Botkin arrow for some
He's
reason.
forgotten about it?
Doesn't have the food. But
Oh.
Dugao's about
Ask
to have
MBL for some
ballistics
food, man.
and careening.
But-
Does that mean that MBL's like...
Maybe he was just full slinging Leary during Imperial Age.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's a full sling onto Leary, but I mean you'd at least try and get
Bodkin,
Nikov onto Bodkin arrow.
Right, 200 food's not going to kill Leary, right?
No. Meanwhile, Leary, he's in fast fire ships coming in, but trading on the water so far hasn't gone so well. And well, I wonder what his next strat is, or what next step is. Is he just going to try and completely take the water, or like what's the play here? Is a fast fire ships that much better than regular fire ships that you know
They're
that he
quite a
can
lot
win?
better.
They're a lot better, but if he's outnumbered massively, can he
isn't,
still
though.
win the
It's
fight?
what, 17 to 13? Right, it's pretty close.
Ah, true. Yeah, true. And I
And
guess
especially against war galleys. War galleys do absolutely nothing to fast fire ships.
they're so fast.
And they've got so much pierce armor, they've got so much HP, they just tank everything from war galleys.
They're like sharks
I guess? If you say so.
coming through the water, slicing through, and oh, that was nice. I love it when you get a little demo at the back and then boom,
Pops in there.
It-
Okay. Oh,
not-
go, go.
right here, here. No, not this one, not that one. Okay, well, fair enough. On the left side, Gao winning over here though, and so the water is still up for grabs on either side. MEL, I didn't
And
notice this, but
Lan just slung Miguel up to him. So they've switched their sling. So they've decided, okay, Lan has lost the water. Leary got him so much faster with fast fires. You can't fight anymore. You sling me and I'm going to take the middle.
he's got a castle up already.
But look at all these walls from MBL. Like, it's so trolly.
It's a maze.
Yeah, he has to break
like-
through one layer wall, and then
Yeah.
there's another one facing him.
He's making a labyrinth in the middle of the map, or he's making some kind of hedge maze with a prize in the middle, and the prize is victory. If
Yeah,
Miguel
yeah.
can make it there,
You get in the middle and you can kill Leary,
you can win. Yeah,
Otherwise, no.
I don't know if Leary agreed to this, but yeah, it looks like Miguel's broken through the walls
Yeah, I
here,
think
and
he
he's going to
peeked
get
out
another
the dust to
castle
get
up, so it should be no problem.
Also, I like those 2 walls on either side of his castle that MBL's made.
These ones?
Yeah, so that if units want to walk from one side to the other, they have to garrison in the castle and then ungarrison on the other side.
Yeah.
Just to be that little annoying troll that MBL is.
He's not a troll.
He is sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, in the south, Dugao. Longboats versus war galleys. Degau's struggling to take this fight because the docks and houses and stuff are sort of
Yeah, just.
taking the aggro of the war galleys away. He needs to
But
sort of
Leary's going to come over with some fast fires, and then he should clean this up pretty easily.
should. A couple of fast fires is a scary sight, and Degau's going to try and micro away from
you
them.
watch it, like they do so little damage
Yeah.
to the fast fires.
It's such a hard counter at this point. You need Galleon, Bracer, Bodkin Arrow, Chemistry, and
Yeah,
then
all the
you can
upgrades.
start doing some damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to hit them 140 times before they go down, which hurts.
That takes a while.
Does take a while. On the top side, basically Leary has won the water there.
Yep, killed
And,
Miguel's fish as well. His huge fish boom is gone. His economy behind the fish boom is tiny, right? He's only got 57 bills. Whereas Leary, he's got 83 bills, plus he still has a little bit of fish.
That's very true. And yeah, it looks like this is good for AM on water here, but that switch into land for Heresy could make a difference. A couple of petards here as well. Trebuchet coming out. It looks like the petard bust on this wall was planned, but it seems to be bailing on that right now as our Mayan player here continues to add trebs and will then continue to add more castles.
Well, he has seen that Leary has castles in the middle, and he's taking the skirms and arbs, it seems, which makes sense.
Yeah, the melee, that's fine, but maybe he'll do karambits, but he needs trebs first.
Trebs first, yeah.
Meanwhile, MBL's starting to take the middle as well, and Aftermath have secured themselves a lot of this center
Building
map.
pieces
They're-
everywhere.
Yeah, they're building up. Oh boy, these fires.
Is microing down the fast fires ever so slowly. He's still trading, not horribly against Nikov. He is up to Imp as well, so once he gets galleons and fires of his own, he might be in a good spot. But now Leary's coming around the other side as well.
The fast fires are everywhere.
Yeah. Plus he's, preparing pushes in the middle to fight back against Miguel.
Leary's not noticed the fish, even though they're blocking him.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't kill the fish either. You want to clear off the army.
Nope, now he's
Now
noticed.
he's going back.
There we go.
Like, I would have tried to trap in all those war galleys, right?
Yeah, they are kind of all heading this way. But nope, fish are friends, not
Like, leave
food.
that one fast fire ship that has like 4 HP to kill them, and send the rest of them after the galleon.
True. Looks like
trebs.
Miguel's winning the Treb war. Well, I say it looks like he's winning it. He did just lose a Treb, but he should kill this castle, I believe, with the third Treb coming up. There's not that many repairs, so that should be going down, as long as he doesn't lose another Treb in the meantime. And, oh, it's just enough time for Leary to get another Trebuchet out, but he's still, like, 6 Trebs versus 4 here.
3 castles versus nothing, so Leary should always lose this Treb war because he can't make any more Trebs.
In theory, yes.
In theory, yes.
Unless he just never loses his
Yeah,
Trebs.
he just micros so well that he's always repairing, and Miguel forgets to repair or something.
I mean, Miguel's attacking uphill here as well, but it should go the way of Miguel. There's one Treb down. This is going to start snowballing.
Ooh, the bombo cannon could change some things though.
Oh yeah, that's got a hill bonus too. That's going to be huge. He'll kill all of Miguel's Trebs now.
We see that like 2 of them die like instantly.
Yep.
Yep. It shows you how it goes.
They're all going to die.
Right, and he's just dodging the trebuchet shots as well that are targeting the cannon.
One cannon makes all the difference. Look at this. Bam,
Yep.
it's dead.
Instantly, he's won the Treb war.
So,
three Trebs versus 2 while you don't have a castle. Well, he's
Exactly.
just finished another castle, but
Exactly. So good stuff there. And meanwhile, it looks like Degau has been a little bit annoying over on this left side. But he's still going to lose the water in the end because fast fires are just too much to handle. And unfortunately for Heresy, they seem to have been stalled out a little bit now. That Treb push was looking great. The addition of the one cannon turned it around. And, they've got to get through these walls. They've got to find a way to do some damage. Aftermath have got so much more of the map. They've got so many more fish. They've got just everything working for them in their favor at the moment.
I feel like Heresy just didn't really prioritize land eco enough. Like, they all had their fish boom going. They all had, 10 to 20 fish each. But once they lost their fish, no one really had any extra TCs to boom behind. That's why you see Dogal's only got 60 bills at the 35-minute mark of this game, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of hard as well, because where do they build those TCs?
Well,
MBL walled them
exactly.
all in, so they can't just go into the middle and build
Of
town
course, but
centers.
like, they need to plan these things ahead of time. You can't say, okay, I've lost my fish, I need to start booming.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
hold on, it's too late, I can't go into the middle anymore, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's a fair point. But yeah, I do think that they I agree with you. They should have been in the middle sooner. They should have tried to get the land eco going sooner as well. But at the same time, MBL didn't make it easy for them.
Oh no, of course no. MBL did amazingly well in this game. I think he's pulled more than his weight would seem based on like the scores and the stats at the end of the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he's well. I mean, he slung his teammates, and that essentially bought them the victory here.
For sure.
If you look at Leary right now, Leary's unstoppable. He's killing all the trebs, and that's like what 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trebs, I think.
8 plus trebs, yeah. So it's nearly
1600 gold, 1600 wood,
a lot.
and MBL just Miguel just lost a castle as well. So that's it.
That's
Aftermath
it for them.
take it 2-0 against Heresy. Heresy, they tried this game. They tried, and I think I agree with Sekigara in the chat. You kind of feel bad for Lan because he actually played really well on the water. He held his own against Leary, and then Leary got slung, and suddenly it was over in the blink of an eye. At that point, Lan was kind of relegated to trying to rebuild his land economy and do what he could, but he was basically out of the fight then. That was it. Miguel, meanwhile, he tried to take the middle. He started off strong, but as soon as Leary added those bombard cannons, that was over as well. Dogao was also looking strong on the water, but then as soon as Leary added those fast fires, it was done. So well played to Aftermath. A 2-0 victory for them, securing themselves their spot in the semi-finals, as we probably came to expect after we saw the first game and the dominance that they displayed there. So Leary there with the most units killed and lost. Also the largest army by an absolute landslide. Economy-wise, though, MBL with that Japanese fish boom, 13,000 food. That's 4,000 more than the next closest player, which was Miguel. And so with all of that food, with all of that sling, he really just enabled his team to pull ahead and take the victory. Well played to Aftermath. A good game for them and a good series for them. They'll make their way into that semi-final, and they'll meet either the winner of Brazucas or Suomi, which will be our very next set. So stay tuned. We'll be bringing you that set in just a few moments' time. I'm going to have a quick break here, and we'll be back. So let me quickly bring up the schedule for today. We'll be back in 3 minutes' time to start our last series, BZK versus Suomi. If you did miss any of the games, if you do want to rewatch any of the matches, you can find them all on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/EscapeAoE. The link is in the Twitch chat, so click on that and you'll be able to see what's going on there and catch up with any of the games that you may have missed, as well as all of our regular programming as well, because we don't just stream ECL, we stream community games, we stream Age of Empires 3. We're hosting Age of Empires 3 tournament actually in July. I want to say July. And we're doing lots of other fun stuff as well. So do follow us and tune in for that. We are live at 18 GMT every Friday, Sunday, and Monday. And Saturdays when we're not doing ECL. But yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll see you after this short break for BZK versus Suomi.